Peace, everybody. Back with another video. This is Trump charges Obama with biggest political crime in American history. So it looks like Obama's getting charged after all for what he did for the last 8 years. Obama didn't even care about the country at all. He only cared about what he wanted to do. But then, of course, the other side, you really can't trust them either too much. So both sides are not really that trustable. And, well, we know the one side is definitely not trustable. But when it comes to the other side, yeah, it's still questionable if they are truthful or not. Donald Trump continued to fume over the Russian investigation on Sunday, more than a year after special counsel Robert Mueller filed his report without recommending charges against the president, but only 3 days after the Justice Department said it would drop its case against Michael Flynn, Trump's first national security advisor. Yes, so Trump is still continuing to fume over the Russia investigation on Sunday, which is today. It's been more than a year after special counsel Robert Mueller filed his report. Well, Robert Mueller had set up Michael Flynn, so we know where that was going. Michael Flynn got charged for something he did nothing wrong. He was thrown in jail because Robert Mueller wants him to do his agenda. We know that wasn't going to go anywhere. So they said, okay, we're just going to throw Michael Flynn in jail then. Well, it's because of all under Obama. It's because of it was all done under the Obama administration. That's what happened. The biggest political crime in American history by far. The president wrote in a tweet accompanying a conservative talk show host claimed that Barack Obama used his last weeks in office to target incoming officials and sabotage the new administration. So that's what Obama did. He sabotaged the new administration, which is the Trump administration. So that's what he did with his last weeks in office, to target them. The biggest political crime in American history by far, the president wrote in a tweet. So if you can go to Donald Trump's Twitter account, you will see it all there. Because he does drop jewels in the tweets that you have to look for. And this is why Obama is now charged. But like I said, it's both sides, because you really can't trust both sides of the party, the shadow governments or the Trump administration. So either way, it's both sides itself. The tweet echoed previous messages retweeted by Trump, which earned rebukes for relaying conspiracy theories. So that's what happened. The tweet echoed previous messages. And of course, it was retweeted by Trump, which earned rebukes for relaying conspiracy theories. But, conspiracy theories, they have their opinions too. Not just one person, but it's all people. Everybody has their own opinions. Trump fired Flynn in early 2017 for lying to Vice President Mike Pence about conversations with the Russian ambassador regarding sanctions levied by the Obama administration in retaliation for Russian election interference. So yes, so Trump did fire Flynn in early 2017. In other words, the beginning of it, as of January of 2017, for lying to Vice President Mike Pence about conversations. But Flynn never lied about anything. He was going to expose everything what the Obama administration was going to do. But instead, he got thrown in jail. Um, and when they tried to repeal the decision, that was turned down. So they said, no, we're just going to keep them there. And that's exactly what happened. The U.S. intelligence community has long held that such efforts were meant to tip the 2016 election towards Trump and away from Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee. Well, hate to say this, but I'm going to say it whether you like it or not. Hillary Clinton is a shadow government. That's all she is. She's nothing. She doesn't care about nothing. She only cares about herself. I know Trump is also a shadow government, but we don't know that for sure. But I do know for sure Hillary Clinton is a shadow government. They do evil stuff that you would not even imagine. And of course, look what happened. The pandemic thing that's going on right now. It is because of, Wuhan, China. They released the virus. And so Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee. No, thanks. We don't want Hillary. Nobody wanted Hillary Clinton. They all wanted Trump. So that's what they got. But Hillary Clinton tried to do stuff that she couldn't do. So when Nancy Pelosi came around, she decided, oh well, I'm gonna do an impeachment thing. Look where it look where it got her the first time. Failed. Now the second time, Nancy Pelosi is trying to do the second impeachment. That's going to fail because there's no way Trump is going to be charged with something he ain't doing wrong. Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI, which Trump has acknowledged, and cooperated with Mueller, who was appointed to take over the investigation of Russian interference after Trump fired FBI Director James Comey. So now James Comey got fired as well. Flynn did plead guilty, but he was tricked into it. So they decided, well, you know what? Flynn pleaded guilty. Okay, we're going to throw him in jail. So that's what the judge did. They threw him in jail. They didn't want to hear the truth. Because Flynn was going to blow the whistle on everybody who did wrong in that. So they said, okay, we're not going to hear the truth at all, so away with him. And that's what happened to that too. Mueller did not establish a criminal conspiracy between Trump and Russia, but did lay out extensive links like Moscow and instances of possible obstruction of justice by the president. So how can Donald Trump be obstruction of justice when it was Mueller the whole time? Don't you think you find that a little weird? I know I find it weird. But Mueller did everything he could to get rid of General Flynn, and that's what happened. So Mueller decided, well, I'm going to take over. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he took over all right. Flynn sought to change his plea while awaiting sentencing, and the president championed his case, floating a possible pardon on Thursday in an act that stunned the U.S. media. Attorney General William Barr said the Justice Department would drop the case entirely. So yeah, so this is what Barr is saying, that the Justice Department would drop the case entirely. So it did. So the judge did drop the charges against Flynn, because now they are finding out the truth of what's really happened. Flynn sought to change his plea while awaiting sentencing, and the president championed his case. So in other words, General Flynn got exonerated by President Trump. And so now Mueller is in a lot of trouble too, just like the Obama. But Obama is getting charged big time for his crimes he did for 8 long years. And when Donald Trump said it's time to drain the swamp, yeah, I believe he meant what he said. But like I said, you can't trust the Republicans either because it's both sides that do evil stuff. You know. Trump and his supporters have loudly trumpeted the decision across Saturday and Sunday. The president unleashed a storm of retweets of supporters and conservative commentators attacking targets including Obama, Mueller, Comey, and House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff. Oh, you mean people call Schiff pencil neck shift? That shift? Shifty shift? That shift? Yeah, I think so. Of course, Trump had tweeted out, was on a tweeting storm. He retweets of supporters and conservative commentators tagging, including Obama, Mueller, Comey, and Adam Schiff. Of course, yes, Donald Trump unleashed a storm of retweets on his Twitter account. I haven't even looked at it yet, but you know, he's releasing a whole lot of storm of retweets on these people that did everything wrong. The talk show host retweeted by the president, Buck Sexton, is a former CIA analyst who now hosts a show which he speaks truth to power and cuts through the liberal nonsense coming from the mainstream media. Yeah, so all the news you're getting from the mainstream media is nonsense. None of it's true. It's all lies. And I exposed Fauci and Birx last night about them using a fake model for the C-19 virus, and that Fauci had got from a college colleague. That's why the numbers didn't make sense. The numbers are spiking for no reason at all. Doctors and nurses are lying on their death certificates saying C-19, which is not true. So now Obama is in a whole lot of trouble this time, and he's going to be, hopefully he will be put away. In another message retweeted by the president, Sexton called former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, who Trump fired just short of retirement, a dishonorable partisan scumbag who has done incalculable damage to the reputation of the FBI and should be sitting in a cell for lying under oath. Well, yeah, when you are in a court, yeah, you gotta have to tell the truth, because if you're lying under oath and you're perjuring yourself, you're lying, and they think though that the jurors can't catch that, but they can catch that. Andrew McCabe is another one that Trump fired just short of retirement. A dishonorable partisan scumbag who has done incalculable damage to the reputation of the FBI. So he was another one that got fired. So Trump was firing everybody that was working under the Obama administration because he didn't want any of that garbage in the White House. In February, the U.S. Justice Department said it would not charge McCabe over claims he lied to investigators about a media leak. Why not charge him? I mean, they should charge him for lying to investigators about a media leak. Hello? What's wrong with this picture? Like Comey, McCabe has released a book in which he was highly critical of Trump, who he says acts like a mob boss. McCabe also wrote that Trump has unleashed a strain of insanity in American public life. Well, you know, Trump has a right to do whatever he wants to do, all right, on his Twitter account. He has a right. McCabe released a book in which he was highly critical of Trump. Well, if McCabe didn't like Trump, then why is he there? Huh? And he says, and it goes also it says McCabe also wrote that Trump has unleashed a strain of insanity in American public life. Well, how? How is Trump releasing a strain of insanity? If he's dropping jewels on his Twitter account, because you got to connect the dots. Remember that. In his own tweets, Trump did not directly address comments by Obama himself, which were reported by Yahoo News. The former president told associates the Flynn decision was the kind of stuff you begin to get worried that basic, not just intellectual norms, but our basic understanding of rule of law is at risk. How is the rule of law at risk, Obama? Tell me that one. Because you know what? Obama lied. I mean, seriously. And of course, the former president told the associates the Flynn decision was the kind of stuff where you begin to get worried about that basic, not just institutional norms. Really? And all this time, for 8 years, Obama did nothing for this country at all. He was doing everything for himself, colluding with people that he wanted to hire, turn everything upside down. Jobs went to China, technology jobs, that is. Everything was gone from this country, just about. And when Trump came into office, he was willing to bring all the jobs back to the United States where it belongs, because China has all of our technology there, most of it at least. But Trump's anger was evident. One are the fake journalists he wrote on Sunday who received unwanted Pulitzer prizes for Russia, 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 and the impeachment scam going to turn in their tarnished awards so they can be given to the real journalists who got it right. I'll give you the names. There are plenty of them. All right, so there are plenty of names who are the real journalists. All right, when are the fake journalists? Well, we know there's fake ones that come in from other countries. Here in the United States, the White House, there are fake journalists everywhere. There are truthful journalists that write it as it is without switching a word around. The president did not immediately name anyone, so he didn't name nobody. Not at all. He never named anybody. But in 2018, the Pulitzer Committee did, awarding its prize for national reporting jointly to the Washington Post and the New York Times for deeply sourced, relentlessly reported coverage in the public interest that dramatically furthered the nation's understanding of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and its connections to the Trump campaign. The president-elect's transitions item in his eventual administration. So that's what happened in 2018. The Pulitzer community did, so they named the names. Trump never named any names. He wasn't about to put them out there. But the Pulitzer community did name names. They reporting jointly to the Washington Post and the New York Times for deeply sourced, relentlessly reported coverage in the public interest that dramatically furthered the nation's understanding. So that's what they have done. Trump campaign, the president-elect's transition team, and his eventual administration. But everybody's interfering in everybody's elections, this and that. Trump has further reason to resent the Pulitzer Committee and question its choices. So Trump is resisting them. He doesn't care about the Pulitzer Committee and questioned its choices. In 2019, for example, a New York Times team won a Pulitzer for an excessive 18-month investigation of President Donald Trump's finances that debunked his claims of self-made wealth and revealed a business empire riddled with tax dodges. When you are the President of the United States, you have to give up everything, money, everything. You have to give it all up. And that's exactly what Donald Trump did when he became president. He had to give up everything because you cannot have money on you or anything like that. And of course, it was that Donald Trump's finances that debunked his claims of self-made wealth. So it got debunked. And the only pay that Donald Trump gives is what the employers pay. That's it. But other than that, you can't have your money, your real wealthy money at all. You have to give it up. Give it to sign it over to a family member or whoever. The Wall Street Journal, meanwhile, was rewarded for uncovering President Trump's secret payoffs to two women during this campaign who claimed to have had affairs with him, and the web of supporters who facilitated the transactions, triggering criminal inquiries and calls for impeachment. Well, you know what? The impeachment is still trying to be done, but it's going to keep failing because there's no way that happened. The Wall Street Journal, meanwhile, was rewarded for uncovering President Trump's secret payoffs into two women. Yeah, okay. Let me know where the evidence of that is. Of course, it was allegedly during his campaign who claimed to have had affairs with him. No, he did not have affairs with them because he's married to Melania Trump, who, by the way, is a beautiful woman and a former model. So there was no way that was going to happen to get impeachment for. There was no way that was going to happen. Trump's actual impeachment, which he survived a trial in the Senate in February, concerned his attempts to have Ukraine investigate his political rivals. No reporter or news outlet won a 2020 Pulitzer announced this week for its coverage of that affair. Yeah, of course there was no rewards for that. Because, it's all a lie, and they thought they can get away with it, and it's like, okay, we're going to impeach Trump for having an affair with two women. No, that did not happen. Trump's actual impeachment, which he survived at a trial in the Senate in February, okay, so he survived that one. So now Nancy Pelosi, who is no good, she's going to try to get another impeachment done, trying to blame him for this C-19 virus. And of course, that's going to fail because nobody's going to get charged for that one. Trump's focus on Sunday remained largely on the Russian investigation despite continuing developments in the C-19 outbreak, which has infected more than 1.3 million Americans and killed nearly 80,000. So 80,000 and killed nearly 80,000 people have been killed by this C-19 virus. Of course, the outbreak had affected more than 1.3 million Americans. All right. Trump's focus on Sunday remained largely on the Russian investigation despite continuing developments in the C-19 virus outbreak. In one tweet, the president claimed, "We are getting great marks for the handling of the C-19 virus pandemic," and attacked Obama and his Vice President Joe Biden. The presumptive Democratic nominee for president of this year over their response to the disaster known as H1N1 swine flu in 2009. So the president did tweet in one tweet claimed we are getting great marks for the handling of the C-19 virus pandemic, and attacked Obama and his Vice President Joe Biden, which everybody calls him Sleepy Joe, because they don't know where, because Joe Biden don't even know where he is half the time. He's got dementia, and Hillary Clinton's just waiting to try to take over, but we know where that's going to go down. It's going to go south real quick on her end, because there's no way she would become president to try and take Joe Biden's place. He also marked a special day in the calendar, tweeting in trademark capitals, Happy Mother's Day. Yes, so he's wishing everybody a Happy Mother's Day. So that's a wonderful thing that he's doing, and it's trademark capitals, Happy Mother's Day. So that's what he tweeted out on his special day in the calendar. Leave your comments below. I am out.